G'day everyone. What we have here are two electric ride-on buggies for kids. Now I got these for free before they were going in the bin in non-working order. They do differ a little bit. This blue one is 4-wheel drive and it's also 24 volts. And the white one, it's a little bit smaller. You can see it's also narrower and it's 12 volts and rear wheel drive only. We'll see what we can do to get both of these working, and I'll go through all the steps that I went through to get them both in operating order once again. We'll also look at how we got the white one to go a little bit faster when we crank up the voltage and just how we did that. You can see here the blue one has a gear stick for forward and reverse and an accelerator pedal. And the white one has the forward and reverse on the steering wheel. I don't know if that's from factory, but that's how this one operates. The white one also has all of the gear in the front, the battery and the computer. And the blue one, it's under the seat if you're looking for it. Both have opening doors and all the cool stuff. The lights all work. They have music and Bluetooth and all these amazing things we never had when I was a kid. As you can see, the blue one is 4-wheel drive and the white one is 2-wheel drive. The suspension on the blue one is quite a bit more heavy duty as well. And of course it's 24 volts, it's a bit faster. And they do come with remote controls. The blue one didn't, but when I swapped the ECM over, the remote control swaps over. We can adjust the speed, we can put it in park, and we can steer the vehicle. They have electric steering as well as electric forward and reverse. Gives you good control to make sure your kids don't drive off the edge of something or crash into something important. And of course allows you to vary the speed there as well. So how do we make them faster? Now, the blue one, of course, is already 24 volt. That's pretty high voltage, and it's actually pretty quick as it is. The white one, unfortunately, at 12 volts, it is a little bit slow. It's about walking pace. So I bought myself one of these adapters. You can get them for pretty much any tool. This particular one is for Ryobi. It has a switch and a fuse, which I like, and we can plug it directly into this buggy here, whether it's the blue one or the white one. In this case, I'm showing it on the blue one, but we'll try it out on the white one. Now at 12 volt speed, it's pretty slow. It's about walking pace, which is just fine. You're not going to crash into anything and hurt yourself, but it is a little bit slow. As your kids get a bit older, they probably want to go a bit faster. And that is when we can put 18 volts into this particular buggy. You can see here at 18 volts, it's 50% more voltage, and it really is 50% faster. I'm jogging to keep up with it here, and it's moving much quicker and much more responsive. The steering is faster too through the remote control. Of course, if we go to 18 volts, we do have to consider that there's more load on everything. And if that tool battery drops to 0, you may not be able to recharge it. So just consider that before you go to 18 volts, everything is working a bit harder. Now, when it came to the repair, I've got the two ECMs here. One that says 24 volt, that's out the 24 volt machine. And this one here, the D2, that's out of the 12 volt machine. The first things to check when we're testing these is, do the wheel motors work? We'll start at the very beginning and we'll test the wheel motors. We can plug them directly into an 18 or a 12 volt battery. It doesn't matter as long as they turn. And you can see here, I'm connecting the positive straight to the battery, and that wheel motor is turning very, very easily. Now the positive was the green wire and the yellow was the negative. I don't think it matters. It would probably just travel in reverse. Once we've tested all 4 of those, or 2 if you've got the 2-wheel drive, we can check the foot pedal. The previous owner here, you can see, has spliced in and given the foot pedal direct power to get it to work. That didn't really work. We can see here there's 2 fittings for the foot pedal. Make sure when you push the foot pedal, those 2 spade terminals there have connectivity between them. You can test with a multimeter, and you can also test it here at the forward and reverse stick. So we pop it out with a screwdriver and we can access the wiring behind here and find out what's going on with this blue one, why it doesn't work. Okay, with the gear stick out, we're going to check to see if there's connectivity in forward and reverse. So in forward mode, that top blade and the center one should have connectivity. You can see here 0.000. There is no resistance between those 2 blades. But if we put it into reverse, that changes. The top and the center lose their connectivity, and the bottom and the center gain connectivity. So of course the switch is working. We're switching power between going forwards and backwards. We're switching the direction of the voltage going through that switch, and that's exactly what we want. Checking the yellow and the green wire. In this particular case, I've got 0.4 volts at the yellow and the green wire. Now, I don't think that's enough in order to send voltage through and power those wheel motors via the computer. So what I'm going to do is swap out the computer from the 12 volt one for the 24 volt one. It'll work perfectly fine, and it's good for diagnostic purposes because I know that that ECM works for the white one. So we're going to try it in the blue one here using an earth we're going to have a look at that green and yellow wire again. Now, last time we had 0.4 volts coming out of the green or the yellow wire, and now we're getting almost 3 volts. It's a lot more voltage coming through that wiring on both sides. We're getting 2.9 and around about 2.4 volts on either side of those. That's a lot more voltage, and I think that's enough signal to tell the computer to run those wheel motors forwards and backwards. And I know that because we can test it. Now, if we push the accelerator and we have that 2.9 volts between the center and the top, or the center and the bottom, we know that the pedal's working and the voltage is traveling through the multimeter when we demand it. So that's a good thing. So next thing we're going to do is have a look at this ECM and see why it doesn't work. I put the 12 volt one in, we hooked it all up, and the car did drive. So this 24 volt one, we can see we've got a bit of burn here and a bit of green death, and I think that's our problem. Now, they're not expensive. These, I actually bought a new one with a remote control for around about 30 bucks. It's from China. It might take a while to get here, but I know this is the problem because, of course, here we are with the 12 volt ECM. It all works perfectly fine, and I can put it back in the white one as well, and it works still. So that's what we're going to do. We'll get hold of a 24 volt ECM and the controller. We'll get it shipped in, put it in the blue one, and we'll have 2 working vehicles. As for the white one, the fix was pretty straightforward. I tidied up some wiring and bought a new battery for it. That's obviously the first thing we want to check is, do we have battery voltage? Do we have voltage come out of the computer going to those wheel motors when we demand it? If it doesn't, there's a few tests we can do like we have done today. But a new battery fixed that one very straightforward, and it was only about 30 bucks. So all up, I've spent about 50 bucks, maybe 70. I have 2 working ride-on machines for my little boy to play with his mates. I'm very stoked with that. Hopefully this has helped you. I'm not an expert on these things, but if you can get anything from these videos, that's excellent. Thank you very much for watching.